Okay, so as usual, we're going to start with SPY. Notice on the month, it's a really distinct head and shoulders here. Head, shoulders. So, SPY may not be done. A lot of good technical analysis traders will tell you that they think that this may go lower, and it could. It may take a little while to go lower, but I don't know. What I'm seeing here is glaring. So, we did the 122 rep strat on the month. We hit this target. So now it just really remains, something in my throat, remains to be seen if we take these folks out here or not. As you can see from there, that next strat target is, it's a range right there. So looking at it on the week, we did hit the bottom of this broadening formation. So again, we hit it and came right back up. So it'll be interesting to see if we, need to have a relief bounce first, or if we go ahead and take these folks out right here before we bounce. I'm definitely thinking that we're super oversold, but I'm also noticing, the signals that are here and that, we are in a downtrend. So, but notice how far away we are from the EMAs. I always use that as a point of reference. One thing I wanted to show y'all was on the day. The last time this happened was here. It looks really similar to how it looked here. So essentially, we could repeat this pattern right here, meaning even though we ended with this hammer, it's red, it could still gap down some and maybe even take out those folks and then come back up and come back in, maybe in this doji, and then make its way back to the 8. See, look how this dropped and came far away from this 8, but then it had to come back up and test it. So we are far away from the 8. We know that we need to come back up to test it because it's a magnet. So we could, repeat, like I said, this pattern and do that. Or this hammer could go in force and we can go for this first gap right here. And then, go towards this EMA. 2 down, 2 up. On the week, we are 3-2. But in order for us to reverse, that's, pretty big range right there. We would need to be above 389 for us to 3-2, 2 up on the week. So, and then also if we did take out last week lows, like open like just like this, that could set up for a 3 on the week next week. Taking out the lows and then reversing as a relief run. So we'll maybe do something like this and then reverse up, make a 3 before we continue back down. So I did also want to point out, the last time we were in this range was the end of 2020. So, we may need to also iron out this area a little bit where price is just may need to sit or whatever. And then also the gaps that we were filling, we do still have some other small gaps. Where is it that I wanted? I think it was 340. Yeah, there's a small gap here. 338 to 340. Yeah. So, if we do fall, we do have price areas that we can come to. I did give that upside because I do feel like we, may need a relief bounce, but just understanding which both ways that we can go. I also want to point out that on a macro view, we were looking at this and saying, okay, we had an inverse head and shoulders here. This is the shoulder, the head, and then the shoulder, but that invalidated. You see it got shorted back down, and then for it to stay possibly in play, it needed to stay around this area for it to still be a shoulder, and you see we fell right through that. So this shorter term head and shoulders actually worked out to invalidate the longer term inverse head and shoulders. So we are still in short the rip mode. I haven't updated my broadening formations, but this resistance was the overall daily resistance that I noticed. And so I said, if we popped, we probably wouldn't get much more than like 402, 403, maybe to fill this gap on the upside. But, as you can see, we aren't really making it past the 20 before it's getting shorted down. So I would say upside, we might be able to make it to 390. But remember, we also have flipped completely red on full time frame continuity. So yeah, big old head and shoulders right there. And so the same thing with the Qs. It's really the same thing, and I think that's because of how Apple looks. And since it moves the Qs in SPY, basically that's why they look similar. But same thing, except with the Qs a little bit different. It didn't really gap down the next day. Actually, is that a gap? Yeah, not really. But it just started moving that next day. So, this, we would have to see what Apple does to see how Qs move, but it could be the same thing because it ended as a hammer on the day. It could make its way towards this 8. Overall downtrend resistance for me is around the same thing, 302, or it could go for this gap. But my first target would be this 8, possibly the 20, this strat target as a relief bounce. But we would need to see if we're going to try to take these folks out first. Here at 269.74. So I have to see what happens next week. Speaking of that, I'm going to come back to that. Because Apple is like the biggest mover, I wanted to point this out. We got an inside week. We got a rejection here. And it's about to cross under. And it's a shooter. So we know who's in control. They tried to push it up, came back down. Tried again, came back down. So we're at the bottom of this broadening formation. Have to see how this moves. But, we also have this PMG on Apple that we're kind of working through. So keeping that in mind and more downside targets. But y'all know I love inside weeks, so yeah. But hammer on the day, but hasn't quite taken out these folks. So we have to see. Like Brittany was saying, it has been bullish on the last couple Mondays, but who knows until we see. And then it's been bullish on Monday, and then they smack it down on Tuesday. So it may decide to come up here to this 8 or whatever. But yeah, IWM, also the same thing. Time frame continuity flipped completely red, but we ended with a hammer on the day. Not that strong, and it's red. So just want to see if they want to take out these folks right here, or a relief bounce to this 8, which is also the strat target. I mean, that's a good upside range. Looking at it on the week, we also have a nice downside too. But I see this shoulder head. We could make a shoulder. Of course, this is on the weekly, so that shoulder would be over a few weeks. keeping that in mind. But yeah, so that's small caps. The VIX. Now this is you know, if the VIX is moving down, then SPY is going up, and consequently, if it's going up, SPY is going down. So it's always something we want to watch. Noticing that this is crossed here. EMAs have crossed. MACD is crossed. This is signaling that it could be bullish, but at the same time, it's taking these folks out and came back in. So have to see how that moves. The 2 down, 2 up is still in force on the month. Even though it's taken out this target, it still has room to go. So that could, you know, if this is going up, then SPY will be dropping. So something to keep on your watch list. It's basically bullish right now. I mean, it's holding this 8. So I would watch this to even, you know, if it did come down to this 8, maybe even this 20 to see a reversal there. So before these, I think this is what Phi was talking about, ABBV on the weekly. I also like the setup because of course it's an inside bar with a hammer. It's pretty strong. But what I like when I see this is a small inside bar, but also the range of the break. So, you know, like he was saying, you know, there's plenty of upside there. We do have a downtrend resistance right there. So if it didn't complete this move, I could see it. That being the first resistance, 149. And then if it breaks through there, it can go to the target. Yeah, that's a pretty hard resistance right there. But if the bulls step in and you see the strength, then that can break through. So then also where it is on the week, you know, it's kind of in between these two EMAs. So a break above would be a nice strong bullish sign, especially with volume. Or a break below would be good as a rejection, you know. It basically came to the bottom of this broadening formation. It tried to get above these EMAs and bear stepped in and pushed it down. So you can target the bottom of that broadening formation. So it's kind of in the middle now, but you can either target the top or the bottom, depending on price action. Then on the day, we have a 3-1 with a hammer. So bulls ended very bullish on this. I like the range on that. So actually the first resistance would be this Strat target here. And then, what's my thing look like that? Hold on. Yeah, that's the first resistance. And then that one, and then that. ATR is $3, so, you know, keeping that in mind, I would give this at least a week out. Yeah, but I like it. Sorry for that noise, y'all. And then he said Nvidia. Take these off. Oop, these are old. So of course Nvidia, I think, is kind of like SPY, sitting on maybe a support here. Are you gonna try to take folks out here, or come back up to this the 3-2 reversal on the week would be, that's 139. I think that would be the first resistance right there. Could move to the upside, but downside you could target taking these folks out. And he put his analysis in the chat. I guess I have him put it in the member plays, but like the other things, ended with a hammer. Could target this EMA here, like it's been doing. Every time it comes far away from it, it comes back to it. So, and then I showed y'all the downside. So, and then he also mentioned JP Morgan. This is another part of SPY. Same thing. Are we going to take these folks out here? A lot of these charts are really looking the same, and they fell so fast and hard. They may need a little bit of a bounce, but could still fall. So, all looking bearish. MPC is a nice gap down. So, oh my goodness, that could either be a 1-2 rev strat on the day. Okay, everybody didn't get the memo to be quiet today. My apologies, y'all. But this always captures my attention for downside potential. We do have a head and shoulders here, and we have a gap to target down here. But on the interim, we did gap already. We may need to iron out this price a little bit, so we could target this 8 to the upside. 3-2 on a week would either be a continuation, it's a shooter, so most likely won't reverse, and a rejection of both EMAs. So yeah, I like this. And on the week, it's like a M. Yeah, I know Fabi calling some fire. So I like this. I really do. All right, so as usual, I wanted to point out some 50% plays. Netflix was trying, and then it just couldn't help it with the market. So, but it's just something you want to keep on your watch list. We're still always watching because it has this price area to iron out. But at the same time, if we do continue to fall, it's also pointing out for the month that it could put this shooter in force. Now, granted, we only have 1 week of month left, so I want to point that out. So I wouldn't expect it to fill this entire range, but just something you want to keep in mind. Right now, full time frame continuity is green. So, actually, is it on a day? No, it's not. It's in conflict. So, but still something to watch for either way. If we're bullish, it may decide it wants to push back that way. If we're bearish, it may decide to help the shooter go in force and start pushing to the downside. And then COP has triggered. And again, keeping in mind, we only have a week left in month. So that's 5 trading days. And can something do it in that time left? And so the target would be 88. That's what, $12. ATR $4. It could come close, but I would give it time, especially since we're working through this week. I would at least give it the following week, and not expect that it would completely fill it this week. It actually might leave it as a shooter on the month and then start the next month and finish it. Sometimes that's how the outside rule can work. If it doesn't finish, it may finish that following week, month, day, whatever. So pins is another one. I think that was on Fi's list too. It's close to doing it, so it's just noticing that it's rejected here. It could definitely move that little if we're red this week. Run. It's another one. It's only like $1.70 or so. So it could do that this week easily. And Run is like pretty much a cheapie. I like how it ended, not ended, how it has rejected this so far in the month. So let's break below here. Could really send it. And then Uber is another one that's rejected. And again, we're just looking, you know, it may not finish the entire month, but it's rejected and it's coming back in. So something you can watch. And then updating the monthly setups that we have been looking at and what's left basically. Tesla almost hit that outside month. That was like really cool, but it didn't. Market conditions and came all the way back in. So, you know, this may, you can see where this can go, basically. That 3 could 2, since, you know, we obviously see the bears are in control here. It can 2 and keep going. And so targets also. And shooter is in force. So I would expect this to continue down. AXP, one of Key's favorites. Still has a little more room to take these folks out here, the 134. So that could do that this week. SQQQ we have been watching all week. So, of course, QQQ would have to be, not all week, all month, I meant to say. QQQ would have to be red for this because it's the inverse of it. But the hammer is still in force and we have not reached the target yet. So, interesting to see if this will continue. And then, Netflix. I talked about Netflix. Amazon. Shooter is still in force, and we still have a little bit to go for our target, so that could push the Qs. So, yep, that's all I have. Let me check the chat, unless anybody. Key, you wanted me to look at some stuff?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey,
We
girl.
could look at CRM. I think it has a gap at, I just noticed, like, I think at 138, a small gap.
I had to go away. Oh, it does. It sure does. Yep.
And I think full time frame continuity is red. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if it could get down here like this week or next, or in the next 2 weeks, I would say.
Yeah, that would be 136. That'd be about right here. That'd be great, because it can take these folks out right here. And that would fill that gap. Yes. Yeah, I like that.
I have to update my charts because I don't have any lines that low. So
Right. But I mean, shoot. Wow, CRM. It was 312. On the month. Oh, yeah. So, you know, I didn't even notice that either. It's a 3-2.
yep,
Definitely
3-2
can
could
target
be a
that.
3-2-2 now going into next month.
Yep, and we got our head, semi-shoulder. Yeah, CRM is great, y'all. CRM is bae. Just so y'all know. several bays, but CRM is definitely one of them. CRM, AMD, and SPY. My bays. So yeah, I like that. I would give it a couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely give it some time. Just in case the market bounces a little bit before it continues back down.
Yes, because it definitely. Let me see on the day how far. Well, actually, well, it could rep strat. It's not super far like everything else though. Everything else, a lot of things were like way down here. It's like it's got to come back, but yeah. So yeah, this is a good one. That's a good one.
And of course, eyeing Microsoft as well.
Myself on the week. Yeah, because if Microsoft can fall,
Right.
that is going to bring the market down. Microsoft and Apple. So let me see. This area that it's in, it's kind of traded light, like right here. Hasn't really had much support right here. Okay,
Yeah, I think the last support in the past year, I think it was 242. So I'm looking to see if it could hold below that. And if it can, then, the market should tank a little bit more.
I didn't notice it. This is the one chart that looks a little bit different. Microsoft. Wait.
That's Apple.
Hold on. No, I was trying to look at, because Microsoft took out June lows. But like Apple and SPY didn't. So that's what was interesting to me, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, we made new lows," and I was like, "No, we definitely haven't." But Microsoft did make new lows for the year, because these are back from last year. So it did make new 52-week lows. Okay, now that's interesting. If Microsoft 322 up though, you could play both ways, especially if it decides to do an H.
Right.
That's interesting. Okay, so it been did that though. Like it wasn't. SPY made the new lows. That was yesterday. And this did this Wednesday. I completely missed that. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, definitely watching Microsoft. Like I was watching it sort of, but I didn't zoom out and see that it had taken out those lows. So yeah, that'll be really interesting to see what this does. I can't wait till Monday. I'm ready for Monday. I want to see what they gonna do. Like, what are y'all gonna do now that we've made these type of lows? Like, what's up? Yeah,
and it's interesting because you finally have the MACD cross on the month, on the week. It's still in a downtrend. And also on the daily. On the 4 hour, it's kind of iffy. It's kind of like consolidating a little bit, but like it has room to go a little bit lower. So it's interesting to see what it will do, because it keeps like kind of in a range a bit. So interesting to see. It might retest 242 and then just come back down and really like tank. So it's not too far from 242. So
right, yeah, that's almost the EMA. So, and the strat target, it could definitely do that pop on Monday. It'll be interesting to see if these hammers go in force or if that was a rug pull type of setup, you know, for folks to go into the weekend bullish with calls and they rug pull. But again, we have been bullish last couple of Mondays, but we are in that range where we kind of gapped down before. So yeah, I'm ready to see what we're gonna do. Shoot, I'm talking about Monday. I'll see seriously tomorrow at 6 when the futures open. Like, how y'all gonna start? Let's see. Let's see. I don't play them, but I do look at them. So, but yeah. Hey Jamal, you got anything for us today? I know you always come through with something. It's okay if you don't.
I have tons of stuff, but gotta go. So
Oh,
I'll
you
catch you.
sure? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm gonna record anything you want me to look at. And I know you gotta go. You can just watch it later.
No, everything that you've gone over, I've been watching. So, that helps. Anything you continue to do, I will watch later. And my other questions actually have to do with the strat in general and some of the things like terms that you use. So that's not. We don't have to do that now. So
Okay, and you can
I'll
put them
catch
in
up.
the chat as well, and I can do that there. Maybe that'll help. I'll pin that message or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Auntie. Well, I guess Jamal, if you don't have anything, go ahead,
Oh,
cause
my bad.
oh no, you fine.
Good day. I had to get
Hey.
my mic set up. Yeah, I don't got too much. I haven't been looking at anything, but beyond, I just was looking at it's basically red. So that I told you that the COO bit somebody's nose off. So that's just not good in
Yeah.
general. Already dumping, and then so
Yeah.
I'm just bearish on this for the for the short term or the long term until they get some sort of good news or something.
Oh
It's
my
just,
God, beyond is $15. Lord.
and then it's basically an inside on the 4 hour and the day, and every other time frame is red.
It
So
might pop and take all them tools out.
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, that's a shoot. That's on a 4 hour, but that PMG,
Because
yeesh.
anytime Beyond used to get news, I was
Mm-hmm.
about to say back in the day, like a year
Oh,
ago,
I remember. I remember. It used
it
to
would pop.
move. Oh
We
my
used to be on
gosh.
it, making money.
I mean, as you can see, they was up on Friday when everything else was
It was
was
down,
down.
right?
Yeah,
I
beyond
mean,
is kind of weird sometimes, and it will pop sometimes even up not even with news. It's very kind of volatile. That's why I was kind of scared to play it, but in the long term, it's very directional to the downside.
yeah. But I mean, where is it going to $5? Like, where is this?
I think it's definitely going there if they don't get any good
News
news.
or
I mean, because
something.
they already have business dealings with almost everybody. Specifically with Yums. So Yums, the ticker Yums, they own like Taco Bell, KFC. And so that's why you see Beyond Meats in the Taco Bell. So they got, exclusive Taco Bell products, and KFC, they got the Beyond Meat nuggets or whatever. Um, so they have deals, and I think they also have something with McDonald's too. It's just I don't I don't
It's
know.
probably highly shorted at this point because I feel like wasn't Beyond the meme is that
I
was
want to say
one of the
it was.
memes, right?
I want to say it was
Which
one of those
sad.
memes.
I mean, that's sad because it it's a reputable company. Like, I mean, I guess I can't say AMC is not a reputable company, but it's just I think that type of price action kind of really messes with the stock and the stock value. And then when you enter shorts, you just yeah. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Basically, anytime it rips, short it.
Yeah.
Which this actually could do this.
And I was just looking at that, maybe if things align to where those the 4 hour in a day put to the downside, that would just put everything at FTC down on that one. But like you said, it could rip to the upside. It could do that also.
Yeah, I mean
Especially
it's sort of had this rip, right. It's on the 4 hour. It's been respecting this like hard. So honestly, it doesn't really kind of sort of pop through it there. But looking at that, I wouldn't expect it to pop. But we just, I can't ignore that strat setup right here just to say that that might do that. So.
yeah,
But
it
then,
could
of
run.
course, once it got there, I'd short it back down because that's the pattern.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just one to watch for right now.
Okay, cool. I didn't see a whole lot for next week. I mean, a lot of things ended really red, so we just have to see.
Yeah, me either. I'm kind of wary to even play anything, so I don't want to be holding puts and get like a really strong bounce, or you just gotta wait for clear direction.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly what my mind frame is. I cut everything and reset on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I am holding Apple though, so
Apple calls or puts.
puts.
Oh,
I will add on to it if it falls, but it's kind of hit or miss with me and Apple. So
Yeah,
well,
she
I
has
mean,
a love
Apple
hate
is
relationship with Apple.
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
pretty much Apple does, Spy does, and kind of vice versa, because that's the
mm-hmm.
in there. I think.
I wouldn't mind seeing new lows on that. We're keeping in mind that with Apple, I mean that 149 area. That's what I meant to mention earlier. That's that 50% rule. 149.17. It's a 50% on the year, and they've been defending it. But all signs are pointing that we could still go down, even if we don't hit this 135 this week. Like it's super strong.
I've been calling for 120.
Right, girl. I got my buy order
120,
at
please.
120. Right. Let's go ahead and finish the year. But if Apple does stay under that 50% rule, that's our next target for, again, the year. Now, granted, it's not June, it's September, so the year is like 3 months, but, still something to be aware of. And if Apple does do or complete the year, that's definitely going to take SPY all the way down to that. I think, what was that next target? 327, which is crazy, but it's really not at the same time because SPY is 367 right now. $40 for SPY in the next few months is not. It's not like a shocker, especially having SPY's ATR is like $7, and we know it can move 10 in a day, so that was $6. But yeah,
Might
so.
get some fire leaps. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 327. That's like the next real level of support. So that'll be crazy. And then yeah, I definitely would be looking at leaps if we took these folks out. Definitely. I think this is gonna make some wealthy people because it's gonna shake a lot of folks out. Because a lot of people already know if they have quit
Hopefully,
trading.
me for a change. Jesus.
Girl, same. It will be because we gonna catch it. We definitely gonna catch it. We too good not to catch it.
Yeah, sure.
And we got Jamal watching too. And fine, he ain't here either. So, but yeah, we got the eyes on it. We gonna catch it for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I'm just worried. I don't know. Just always have a plan B. They might pop this stuff fourth quarter just to trick bag everybody. Who knows? We'll just have a plan B.
But see, that's
they
the
decide.
good thing with the Strat is that we're ready either way. Whichever way y'all pop it, that's all right. It's okay. We will take that. I will make my money either way y'all send it, cause I'm ready
Exactly.
either way.
Exactly. Somebody got the Paul Mooney icon.
And listen, I'm gonna find it for this video. Watch. Put that up. That's a good idea. I'll throw that up there. But all right, y'all.
All right, later. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.